Life is short, but life is good. And it don't always turn out the way you think it should. It's easy to get in the wrong mindset, cause people let you down. But yeah, don't forget, life is short, but life is good. We've all got that kind of friend.
Hello, Tasha. Hello, Jeff.
Who's never happy no matter what place he's in. And you gotta let it go right now. Cause giving it up is all about how, not how. Cause we can't do a thing to change the weather.
Hey, Kelly Wagner.
We can choose to dance. Take my hand, dance the rain together. Cause life is short, but life is good. And it don't always turn out the way you think it should. It's easy to get in the wrong mindset, cause people let you down. But yeah, don't forget, life is short, but life is good.
If you're tuning in, I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. And then you want to comment, what's the coolest thing about your family?
I met a girl who broke my heart. Didn't even see it come and thought we'd never be apart. But time heals all, now I'm just fine. Cause I decided that it was her loss and not mine. Cause we can't do a thing to change the weather, but you can choose to take my hand. We'll dance in the rain together. Life is short, but life is good. And it don't always turn out the way you think it should. It's easy to get in the wrong mindset, cause people let you down. But yeah, don't forget, life is short, but life is short, but life is good. And it don't always turn out the way you think it should. It's easy to get in the wrong mindset. Sometimes people suck, but yeah, don't forget, life is short and life is good. Life is short, but life is good. Yeah, it's much too short, but life is good.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome, Linda from Michigan. Welcome, everybody. There's a lot of great comments and stuff. We have a great presentation tonight. It's all about how to build a bunkie. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, and we'll get right to it. Hi, I'm David Fraser, founder of Bunkie Life. We're in the building industry, but what we're famous for are small log cabins called bunkies that can be easily built in a weekend without a permit or a second mortgage. Ultimately, we help our clients create extra space for more meaningful connection. Yes, we help our clients get a cool bunkie. But if you think it's just about the bunkie, you've already missed the point. Really what this is about is creating the space and time for more meaningful connection, and having a bunkie is just part of that journey. It's not just about the space, it's about what happens in the space, how it enables more connection. It allows you to spend that quality time with family and friends. It allows you to be there for each other in both senses of the phrase.
We are the market leaders in educational videos and content as we pioneer this growing industry. Our goal is to be the go-to source for fun, friendly, and helpful advice for families, whether they buy from us or not. Our core offering is an easy-to-build or built-for-you bunkie kit that helps our clients create extra space for more meaningful connection. We're proudly Canadian-made right here in Ontario.
The bunkie is often the difference between that friend or family member coming or not, being there for each other or not. The reason we do this is because we believe family comes first, and when it comes to being there for each other, there are no do-overs. That's one of the reasons we've decided to partner with Ronald McDonald House Charities of Canada in their goal of keeping families close. Because ultimately, we want to bring about a world where families everywhere have a place to unite, unwind, and unplug. I get up every morning excited to help families create extra space for meaningful connection. Thanks for listening, and can't wait to hear from you. Alrighty, well, I got a really fun agenda today. I guess I should answer my own question. So people are asking, what is the coolest thing, or I was asking you guys,
and girls and everyone. I was asking, what is your favorite thing about your family? And I would say, I have 3 girls and I have a newborn son. We just celebrated my middle daughter's 6th birthday yesterday. So a lot of really fun times, a lot of laughs. What I can say about our family is wherever we go, there's going to be a lot of energy. 99% of the time it's positive, fun energy, but 1% of the time it's meltdown energy. But there's always going to be a lot of energy. I don't think we've ever go into a store or go to any public place without making an impact on everyone there. So that's the way our family rolls, and it works for us. So that's one thing I love about our fam. So anyways, if you want to share what's cool about your family, that's cool. And let's get into what we're going to chat about today. It's going to be a very brief presentation and mostly question and answers, because this particular presentation I find has a lot of really good quality, meaty questions. So we'll talk about that, but first I'm going to share what we're going to be talking about. So first and foremost, I want to talk about introducing you. Hopefully you feel welcome. To my Michiganders, to my Ontarians, thanks for coming. And we're going to have a quick little sale announcement. Obviously, this is something I do to sell bunkies, and I'll talk a little bit about what that might look like at the end of the contest after it's over, in case hypothetically you don't actually win the contest. We'll get a little bit into that. Just a little teaser. And then we'll talk about what's coming up. We got a couple more live streams like this, and then the big announcement, which is happening exactly 10 days from now, October 30th. We're going to be announcing the winner of this contest. So let's talk about the sale. It's called the Amazing Autumn Sale. I think it's our 3rd time running it. It's always a very, very, very good sale. If you want to kind of check out some of the pre-teaser stuff, we're just throwing up a little bit of a page right now, bunkielife.com/autumn-sale. Check it out if you're at all interested in purchasing a bunkie. That would be a good place to start in case you don't win. But I won't belabor that point. But here's the schedule. So this Sunday, we're going to talk about the perfect bunkie finish. That's all the awesome, cool things you can add on to a bunkie, or how to get the final picture complete. On a week from today, Thursday, October 27th, I'll be talking about the why behind Bunkie Life. This is going to be a really important live stream. So if you can only tune into one live stream, tune into this one. It's going to be very important. And then, of course, like I said, 10 days from now, we'll announce the winner. And right then, the autumn sale kicks off, and it's going to end very sharply on November 7th. And then Fraser family is going to take some time off. So that's kind of the deal. So let's get into the presentation. So I noticed some people have some great questions. Anne asked, what is the dimension of the lumber used? Great build question. We'll get into that stuff for sure. But if you could, let's hold off on the questions, because I don't want to miss these type of good, meaty questions. All right. Because right now there's a lot going. There's almost 500 people on this live stream, so the questions just go. So save your questions, get them ready, and we'll have time for that in just a very brief time. So let's get into tonight's presentation. All right, so this is called How to Build the Best Bunkie. And it's pretty straightforward, I would say. Let's get into what a Bunkie Life bunkie looks like. So before we begin, let's talk about the tools you might need. Here's kind of if you're building a Bunkie Life kit, here's the tools you're definitely going to need. All right, next I'd like to talk about the tools that you need to finish a bunkie job. Now, first thing you want is a measuring tape. That's especially going to be handy when you get started. So the old classic measuring tape, just to get square, get everything measured. I mean, all right, next I'd like to talk about the tools that you need to finish a bunkie job. Now, first thing you want is a measuring tape. That's especially going to be handy when you get started. So the old classic measuring tape, just to get square, get everything measured. I mean, the boards come pre-cut and pre-measured for you, but a measuring tape is nice to get everything square when you first start. So measuring tape. Secondly, you'll definitely need a hammer. This is just the standard hammer. That'll come in handy if you're going to be nailing anything, but also just for pounding the blocks down. Also, a bigger sledgehammer, something like this, it's a little bit heavier, is really nice to hammer the logs down even more effectively. Another thing you're definitely going to need is a level. The longer, the better. This is my super level that I bring to all my job sites. Super level. It's like taller than me. Well, almost taller than me. And that's great. If you don't have something that big, that's okay. You can get by with something a little more standard like this.
And that'll help get your foundation all level. So when the bunkie arrives, it's ready to go. And there's a whole video I did on the actual foundation. So check that out too. All right. Another thing you're gonna wanna have is a drill. This is my DeWalt cordless battery powered drill. Have an extra battery if you have one of those. And if you decide to screw most of your stuff, like for example, the roof boards or whatever, then a drill is really nice to have. And some people even screw their roof and their floorboards together, and you can use a drill like this as well. If you're more of an advanced user, what I do at my build sites is I actually bring a small compressor and a nail gun, such as this. It's just boom, 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 and you can install your floorboards and your deck boards really quickly. It's a fast way to do it. But you know, you can also hammer it with just your classic hammer. It just might take a little longer. If you have lots of labor, that's not the end of the world. So you know, your classic hammer and a few nails will also put the deck boards in, so you don't really need the advanced tools. Now, one more thing that you can never have enough of is other people to help you. For sure you need at least one buddy. It's not a one-man job, it's a two-person job. But the other thing you definitely need a lot of, if you could, is these little step ladders. Just to get up here, you know, and get to a bunkie. I'm not actually in a bunkie, I'm in another build site. But, you know, even a small step ladder such as this right here will come in handy. Just 3 steps, just to get higher, because as the logs get higher, you're gonna not be able to reach it and get leverage. So a bunch of ladders like this or even taller are the best. Ideally, if you can have a ladder on all 4 corners, if you can have 4 ladders, you know, knock on some neighbors' doors, meet your neighbors, borrow their ladders, return them. That's a great way to get the bunkie life experience going. So lots of ladders and all those other tools. You might need a saw. Let me just show you a saw. You don't need to cut the boards, but sometimes when you're doing the trim, this is nice to have, a small saw, something like that, just to finish off the trim. But that's kind of, you know, a very small, you only need this guy for like a few cuts. And that's about it. So these are tools you may already have or could borrow from the father-in-law in your life. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to build the bunkie. And if you really hustle, you could probably get it up in 1 or 2 days. If you have enough help and you have enough ladders. You can never have enough ladders. Hope that's helpful. David from Bunkie Life, signing off.
All right, so that's the idea behind the tools. Let's get into the actual how to build. So the first thing you need to start with is your foundation. A lot of people are asking about this, and I'm sure there'll be more questions, but save them until after the presentation. So there's kind of like 3 major schools of thought. There's, you know, you could pour a full-on concrete pad, which is relatively expensive, but you know, quite awesome. And then there's something called sonotubes, which I think I'll show you what that looks like. And then most clients, including myself, have gotten away with gravel, blocks, and wood, which I'll show you some examples. Another option is something called screw piles, which is like a big, basically picture a large screw that goes into the bunkie, if that makes sense. So that's another option. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this example here is like the gravel and blocks and wood example. So basically someone built a little deck frame and put gravel down, and you can see, actually I think those might be sonotubes in the middle there, perhaps. Okay, so we'll zoom in on each process of what I'm talking about. So here's what an example of for sure sonotubes. So you see these concrete kind of cylinders there on the front underneath the posts. Those are an example of sonotubes. Basically, you put like a big concrete tube in the ground underneath the frost line. So you got to dig 4 feet-ish, depending where you are, maybe 5 feet if you're upper peninsula or northern Ontario, and you can then pour concrete in there and it'll harden, and then it'll be a really great foundation that's not going to heave. So George asked how deep you want to get below the frost line in your area. Great question, George. Okay, so as I was saying, you know, upsides of that, very solid, very unlikely to shift, kind of medium expensive because you're not using a ton of concrete, and you can tie it into the rock. For those of you who are on the Canadian Shield or the Michigan Shield, whatever you guys call it, the rock that is most of northern Ontario and parts of Upper Peninsula too, you can tie right into the rock. Recommended, yes. In fact, it's probably the best case for someone that really wants to go overkill. And as I said earlier, this concrete pad, you know, unlikely to shift, but can still crack. It's very labor intensive, takes a day or 2, and it's tough to attach to. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend it in most cases, only in certain circumstances. Somebody asks, is all this information in the Bunkie Life book? Yeah, a lot of this stuff is in the Bunkie Life book. And then there's something else called screw piles. So this is an example of a professional
screw pile kind of scenario where like a tractor's putting it in, but there's some screw piles that you actually don't need a tractor. You can just get away with doing it by hand with a large piece of wood and just kind of running around like a big corkscrew. So you can do it manually. And then this is, the usual. We'll call it the usual. I've got almost all my bunkies are built something like this. So you can notice someone put gravel down. It looks like patio stones here. And then they built a little deck frame on top of that. That's really awesome, really cheap. Could shift if the ground heaves. But as long as it's relatively stable in a well-drained area, most people have not had too many shifts. And even if you do have a shift, you can save that. You can just jack up your bunkie using a little car jack even. Picture like changing a tire. And then you can shim up the low side. That's a really easy fix. But it will throw, if you have a little bit of shifting, it might make your doors and windows weird until you figure it out. So that is the idea behind foundation. So I'm sure I'll have lots more questions. But that's the general 3 overviews. Hope that's helpful. So that's the foundation, and that's about 40% of the BS work, of actually all the work. It's the least fun part, I would say, and very doable. Now this is where it gets fun. Let's talk about starting your actual Bunkie Life build. So first you need a lot of friends and family, as you can see up here, people to carry it off your dock if you're up on a dock or into your woods or into your backyard. It helps having lots of hands, because the thing about our Bunkie kits, very easy to carry, but there's a lot of pieces. All right, let's watch an example of how to start your foundation here and get it nice and square. So this here is what we'll do is we'll make sure the diagonals are the same. So if you have your diagonals the same, so you measure the inside corner to the inside corner on that edge, and then you flip around and do the other edges, you're going to know you're completely square and set up ready to go if your diagonals are the same. And that's true for this bunkie, which is a square, but also true for the rectangular bunkies as well. And that's kind of the idea of how to get the bunkie build started. Make sure you start nice and square. And then step 3, of course, is pounding down the logs. This is the cool thing about our Bunkie Life kits, and for those of you who haven't experienced a Bunkie Life build, this is what makes them so awesome. So all the kits pieces are pre-cut, ready to go. You're just going to grab a piece and pound it into place. I use the word log because that's the best way to describe what happens. It's like a log cabin where everything's ready to go for you. You don't have to make your own notches. So you'll notice the customers here are just pushing them down and then hammering them with a pounding block and a hammer. That's how you ensure it's seated really well. And you can just keep going. Now this is a client, Mary Margaret Boone, she's saying, our bunkie went up with very little problems, but my husband is a carpenter, so we had an advantage. Yes, that helps to have a handy person or two. But in general, I don't think any of these people had built a bunkie. Oh, no, actually, sorry, that's not true. One of the guys here has built a couple of bunkies, but most of these people are just kind of first timers, and, with a little bit of elbow grease and a can-do attitude, they're doing it here. Now you're going to kind of keep going up that way until you get to the windows and doors. And this is where it gets fun too. So our windows and our doors are all made to slot into the wood. Let me show you what I mean. So this is a window that kind of slides right in like this. And there's a little kind of groove that's going to take the wood. It's going to slide into place. It's made to float there in the wall cavity. So that as the wood expands and contracts over the summer and winter, you're just going to fit there and fit nicely. And you just keep building. And that is a really cool way to put a window in. Very simple. Even I can do it. And then, of course, you're pretty much good to go until you get to the roof. So this is a loft bunkie here. So the guys are kind of working out of the loft and finishing the roof deck boards here. And so it's just a matter of, I don't know if this is a video too, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So you just kind of get the thing up there. And this is where it's helpful if you have a nail gun, but you don't need a nail gun. I think these guys are just going to hammer it with a hammer. And, having a couple guys on the ground, lots of ladders, as I spoke about. And have it going. This is one of our older models that we don't sell a lot of anymore, but it's a loft model, very similar to our new Haven model, only smaller.
And that wood right there is an example of the floorboards. They're not fully put in yet, but they're tongue and groove premium spruce boards. That's kind of the idea. And then, of course, you got to put the roof on. I always recommend a metal roof. We don't sell the metal roof, but we'll help you get it. Or you can do shingles. But here's an example of a video here of thinking me of insulating a roof. So insulation, a lot of people are asking about. This is me insulating a roof. So you can see there's some insulation with some metal on top. And that is a good way to get yourself up to 3.5 seasons or 3.9 seasons. Oh, hold on. I want to see this comment from Jan. Jan saying, I did it myself up in the loft. I'm a 5'0" female, 60 plus, only needed help with the gable ends and roof. Good to see you, Jan. And now Jan's a little handier than the average bear, but no, Jan's super talented and got it done. And I saw her at the barbecue. We had a really good chat. So that is kind of the build process. Now there's, of course, the finishing touches, which is get some stain on there. Let's watch Heather and Shannon do some staining of my door. This is one of the stains we like to use called Sanson. They're a Canadian company, but they're expanding into America right now, I've heard. I don't get paid to shill their stuff. I just really like their stuff. I like the stuff. Mary Margaret saying, we did a metal roof. Cost was low. That's good. Go to an area where the Amish sell metal roofing. Yes, the Amish are known for cheap metal. So, and yeah, in terms of the metal roof, we have a little order sheet, so you don't need to think about the order. You can just print it off, give it to your local hardware store or Mennonite dude or whoever's making the metal. Yeah, someone says the metal's not included. Yes, because a lot of people want to finish the roof in various ways, so we just have the options up to you. All right. So that's more or less than you can enjoy. Extra space for more meaningful connection. And that's tonight's presentation in terms of what I wanted to say. Now, I did say I would give away something tonight. So the last time we did a giveaway, I'd like to give away, I gave away a pack of Bunkie Life Connection cards. But I'd like to actually give away something different tonight. I've got a CD. This is of my artist career days. My 4th album, I believe. So I used to be a professional musician. That song I played to start it off is on here. It's called Life is Short. But I want to give away a lucky audience member this CD. Okay, here's how it's going to work. If you want to win this CD, I want you to make sure you can chat. Test your chat. Say yes, I can chat. I can chat. As an example comment. It's going to be the first person to comment the answer to this question. Okay, I'm going to play a guitar song. You have to identify the name of the TV show theme song that I'm playing. If you can identify the TV show theme song, you win a CD of music. I will personally mail it to you, or I'll get my wife to do it. All right? So you get a CD, you have to... Okay? So you got the idea? All right. So the name of the game is Name This Television Show. If you know it, chat it. Okay? Make sure you can chat. Make sure that your chat is functional. Okay, let's do this. Name this television show.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. You miss your old familiar friend. Where you used to round the bend. Everywhere you live. Oh, hold on. I think we got someone with the right answer. I believe it was Aaron St. Pierre who said Full House. That is the right answer. Aaron St. Pierre, you are the winner of tonight's thing. I think you have my email address. Aaron, if you could email me your mailing address, I'll put a CD in the mail. Everyone's like, who has CD players anymore? Well, that makes me feel old. Thank you, guy. That made me feel old with that one. Parents have CD players that they use to play songs in their car while they drive their kids around. That's who has CD players still. Full House was the right answer. Good job, everyone. Thanks for playing. All right. So let's keep moving along. The time of now is Q&A. All right. You're going to have questions about build. I welcome them now. Please don't repeat your questions. Give me about 5 minutes before you repeat a question, because if you just kind of keep asking them, it'll make it more tricky, because there is
about 615 people on this live stream right now. So I'll get into the code word as well. But before I do, let's get into questions. All right. Okay. So the name of the game is, if you have a question about builds, please comment below. All right. And if you have a question and you ask it once, okay, some people are asking, can I install small fireplace? Yes. You absolutely can. Check out Cubic Mini Wood Stoves out of Quebec. Very interesting. Carl asks, all cedar. Our bunkies are all made of premium grade spruce, not cedar. 1 in 20 people is kind of allergic to cedar, and it costs a boatload more without a whole lot of other benefits. So we make everything out of premium grade spruce. Do you need a building permit, Kevin asks? It depends on the kit and depends on your local mafia. So it's worth looking into. You can make an anonymous call to your municipality and say, am I going to need a permit? If you check out our website, there's a little part about do I need a permit and some suggestions there too. I might even type that in while I got you guys. So I think it's bunkielife.com/do you need a permit. I'll type that in. Yeah. I'll type that in just a second, but that's the idea. I won't be able to add that. So good question there, Kevin. Can you build the bunkie on a hill? Yes. I've got a bunkie on a pretty steep hill. There's ways to do that. Sonotubes are a good way. Other structurals, you can build a deck frame onto a hill. So yes, you can build on a hill. It just makes it more complicated. Should you deconstruct the bunkie if you want to move it to a new location? Yes. If it's like within the property, like you're just moving it, 10 feet in this direction, you can do it with a forklift. But if you want to actually like move it down the road, you're gonna have to deconstruct it. Would you recommend a concrete slab? Not in most cases. I talked about that earlier in the presentation, but I would say in most cases you can get by with just a deck frame. It's not a house; it's just a bunkie, right? So I think I answered the question about can the bunkie be moved already. How far into bedrock do you need to place rebar for sonotubes? I think it's I think they recommend 6 inches, but that might make sure you consult your local experts on that. And you epoxy it into the bedrock so that it's not going to move. So the roof is not included. I'm assuming the front deck is not included. Yeah, we don't. Oh, sorry. The roof is not included. Yes, we. Anytime you see a photo of a deck, 90% of our clients put a deck in front, but we don't sell the deck. That's up to you. Are they warm enough to live in the winter? I would say no in most cases. We do have some clients that live in their bunkies, but I like to say probably not. It's for the very hardy few that can pull it off. We've got about a small handful that do that. You can check out more on our website on how to build a bunkie. There's stuff about insulation and heating, but it's not for the faint of heart. How often do you stay outside of the bunkie? If you use Sanson, I believe it's every 4 to 5 years. I've got one that it's been up there for about 5 years. Still looks pretty much brand new, but it'll be time to do it next summer, I think. Colette says, got a kit for the chalet door, but no instructions. You should just write us an email. There's videos and stuff. We'll send it to you. All right. How long should the spruce build last? So if you you notice like some old log cabins are like 100 years old. If you keep a well-maintained stain on it, you get to put a good roof on it, you don't have leaks or any type of rot, you should be able to last 25 years or more. Insulation recommendations. Check out the section of our website called How to Build a Bunkie. There's stuff just about insulation as well. Spray foam's great. Rock wool's good as well. So lots of options. If utilizing a concrete slab, how would it attach? You would use Tapcon screws to put tie your bunkie into it. All right. Do you need a layer of sand beneath the gravel foundation? Not in most cases. How do you recommend insulating the walls of the bunkie? I would not recommend buying our product if you're planning on trying to insulate the walls. Some people will use like hanging quilts. That works actually quite well, and then they're removable in the summer. But in general, our stuff is not made to be insulating. It's really easy to insulate the roof and really easy to insulate the floor. There's some videos on our website about that. But the walls propose a bit of a challenge. So in general, I don't think our product's a great fit for someone that wants to kind of bring it up to 4 seasons. So how do you recommend installing a wood burning heater? You can check out our website. There's stuff about the wood burning stove. So are there screens on the windows? Yes, all of our newer kits. So the Chalet, the Haven, the 2019 Bunkie with Loft. The 2 new ones, the Rockwood and the Hideaway, they come with screens pre-installed. And on our older models, the Summer Cabin and the No Loft model,
They're very easy to install, but they don't come pre-installed. How can I insulate to have a 4-season bunkie? You'll have to check out our website, How to Build a Bunkie. Check out the heating and insulation section, see if that makes sense for you. How many people do you recommend to build? 3 or 4 is a good start. The more hands, the merrier. But there's some part, like really you can get a lot of it done by yourself, but there's a couple parts where it's really nice to have that second and third person, especially with the roof beams. If you're building a loft bunkie, it's not a one-man job. There's definitely parts you need at least 2 people, and 3 or 4 is even better. So, okay. Should you stain the pieces before assembly? I would recommend staining them after, although you can do it before. All those long windows for this bunkie, are they double or triple pane? So the bunkie that we're currently giving away is called the Rockwood bunkie, and those are double glazed. Pretty much all of our kits windows are double glazed except the summer cabin. Would using a sealant help to protect the wood? Stain is a sealant, so we recommend a good quality wood stain, such as a Sanson type stain. Can I put one together in one day? A lot of people do finish their bunkie in one day. I would say for most, if it's your first time ever, give yourself 2 days, or maybe 3 if you're talking about a loft bunkie. For example, we did the Hideaway bunkie, which is a larger 160 square foot one. We did that in literally like an afternoon with, I think, 4 people helping. And then the Rockwood, which we're giving away right now, we basically finished it in one day, but there was a few other little finishing pieces, so I'd give yourself 2 days on that one. All right. What is the expected life expectancy of a bunkie? It depends how you handle it, like I said earlier, but 25 years if you're treating it well. Are there options on the windows? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you deliver north of Bancroft? We deliver all across Canada, Linda, and now we're delivering into Michigan quite soon. So the bunkie is ready to take stain upon built. You should sand it first. Great question, Adam. So the bunkie's going to come off out of our factory with a little bit of a saw mill glaze on the sides. So that'll just make it a little bit shiny, and that shininess can sometimes prevent the wood from fully penetrating. So if you sand it just a little bit with an orbital sander, it'll really help. What was the name of the stove company? It's Cubic Mini Wood Stoves is one of the companies that our clients rave about. There's also an American company that I've heard about as well. I forget their name, but they're from USA, and they're also so far have been well. What about water and power? Foam in the walls to winterize. You can't really put anything in the walls because there's no cavity. The outside wall is the inside wall because it's a log cabin style. So for power, a lot of people use electricity, but in terms of water, most people are not using their bunkies with water. Best lumber to use for your build. We prefer spruce for a bunch of different reasons, as I answered. Oh, Ann says, what's the dimension of the wood planks used? Thanks for asking again, Ann. Most of our logs start as a 2x6, and then they go through our machines, our molders, and our few other machines. So they're kind of like 2x6 minus just a little shaving, if that makes sense. Can I set a bunkie on top of driveway pavement? Yes, if it's level. Can you build 2 bunkies into one? I do not recommend this at all. No. You can just kind of Franken bunkie them together with some carpentry, but not recommended. How much to deliver to Michigan? It kind of depends where you are. Jamie, if you could write us an email, Shannon@bunkielife.com, SHANNON. She can give you an exact quote to your house. But we're looking into depots and some other options, so that's a work in progress. How is the first bunkie you made? How's it holding up? My first bunkie I built in 2015. It still looks brand new. I used it as an Airbnb. It got a ton of use. So a lot, like different people every couple days coming in and out. Got a ton of use. Still looks brand new. I've kind of revamped it into a home office. There's a video on our YouTube of me doing that with some friends and employees. So it's kind of had a facelift, but it was mostly just a stain job. So really, other than that, it's held up very, very well. How about a small electric fireplace? Yes, I've got electric fireplaces in most of my bunkies. If you have the option of electricity and some cheap Costco cords, it's a really good solution. Oh, my township is over 200 square feet before a permit is needed. But if you want electricity to it, you need to get with them. You need to get with them. Don't really understand that last sentence, but interesting to know. Are you a Michigander there, Deanna? Interesting. We built 2, just my husband and I. Great to hear, Colette. Can the larger units be plumbed for a toilet and sink? Technically, yes, absolutely. You need to get a plumber to do that. And at least in Ontario, I know as soon as you add plumbing, you straight into permit required land for sure. Oh, this is helpful. I moved my bunkie professionally and only undid up to the loft floor. Okay, good to know. You kind of took the loft off, moved the rest. Cool, very cool. Tell us more about that, Dino. I'd love to hear more. Can I use a bunkie as a tiny house? You got to read more. Just follow some of the people that have done that. There's some website, or there's some stuff on our website. I don't want to say yes because it's really not for the faint of heart, but I don't want to say no because people are doing that. Do I do plumbing? No, I don't do any plumbing. We can build 160 square feet. Do you have one that has a loft? Jan, I'm assuming you're in Ontario, and yes, you can build up to 160 square feet because of a new rule, but very explicitly it says it has to be a single story and has to be for storage purposes only. So that's the new rule. I just released a website on our YouTube channel about this. So we don't have a 160 square foot loft yet, because that would definitely be a permit required, at least according to my reading of the building code. Your local mafia may differ. Do you recommend applying weatherproofing to wood? Yes, we recommend stain and also caulking the corners with some clear caulking. How is the bunkie for weatherproofing? How are the seams sealed? We use a little bit of caulk in the seams, like not the width of the board. Those lock really well together. But I'm talking about the corners. I'll often, if you're in an open area, I'll recommend caulk. Clear silicone's fine. How long would it take 4 guys to put a bunkie together? I'd say give yourselves 2 or 3 days, 1 to 3 days. Depending on the kit. If it's a non-loft bunkie, probably 1 day. If it's a loft bunkie, 2 or 3. If it's your first time. Sue keeps asking, can you connect 2 bunkies? The answer is not recommended. All right. Invite your neighbors to see the build. When they see the quality, they buy into the project and don't get so antsy with the building codes. That's true. If you're building something and the neighbors think it's going to be a high quality structure, such as a Bunkie Life structure, for example, they're less likely to rat you out to the fuzz. And here's the thing, even if you are under the permit size and it's not an issue, it's just better to have your neighbors on board because they can complain and make your life miserable, even if it is compliant. If I have a secondary residence cottage property in Monacan, Ontario, but I'm living in Manitoba, can I enter the bunkie draw? If you own property in Ontario, I'll allow it, Sonia. How many people can occupy a bunkie like for a meeting? Depends on the size. If we're talking about the smaller, like 10 square meters or 106 square feet ones, you could probably get 6 people in there pretty comfortably. I'd say beyond that, you're pushing it. Do the windows fit airtight enough to keep the draft out? Yes. And all of our stuff has weather stripping included. What are the average cost of insulating a bunkie? To do a roof and a floor well, I think is around $1,000 of materials, from what I've been hearing. Maybe a little more, plus or minus. Yeah. Someone says only a true Canadian can live in a bunkie all year, or the Upper Peninsula up north, Michiganders. The people that live up in like Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, they're part beast as well. So I'm not going to exclude the Michiganders from that, but yes, you have to be a hardy individual. Will we be at the Cottage Life show? No, but we'll probably have a party at our factory and we'll invite you out. I don't know when I think it's in November. We'll probably do an open house. I have a question about where to learn if I need a permit. I'm a Caledon. So just go to, here, let me type this out. I've been saying I'm going to type it out. Actually, just go to our website and click on how to build a bunkie. And then there's one of the sections is, do I need a permit? Some useful, the due diligence for the permit is ultimately on you. So make sure you do your due diligence. And to know what questions to ask, you can go on our website. Batman voice. Does it come in black? Yeah. You could stain any of your bunkies black. Absolutely. What hair gel do I use? Whatever my wife buys me. Can you add siding to the exterior? Yes. If you want a board and batten style, yes, you could totally do that. Some people that insulate it will do something like that. So you can insulate the exterior. But then you're into like a siding job, and now it's like a project. Now it's like a real job that, you might need a contractor for, or someone that's really handy. So in general, if you want to do that, if you like that look, I'd just buy that product. There's lots of great shed companies that already have that look. Not that I want to talk myself out of a sale, but I think that's not really the right fit for what we do. But there's lots of great companies that do, the standard shed look. Any stain you recommend? I really like Sanson. That's Sanson. S-I-N. I like them. But there's other good ones too. I just would stay away from rhymes with Momsen Cotter meal. If you know what I'm saying, I would not use that product. I've had some bad results personally, and everyone I know that's tried it thinks they suck too. All right. Do you need a permit to put your Bunkie on a vacant lot in Muskoka? I don't know. That's a question for your local mafia, Clifford. Most areas don't love you putting a shack on a building when you don't have an actual cottage or house yet, from what I've experienced, but some places will allow it. So it comes with the roofing boards. Then you can add shingles or a metal roof. Yes, thanks, Colette. If a board is badly warped, are replacement boards available? Yes. Everyone's like, we actually include, so there's a couple common boards in every piece. Like there's a bunch of B2s in the Haven Bunkie, for example. So we usually include a couple extras. So if you have a little bit of a wonky board, you can just swap it out and you have an extra. But yeah, if you need an extra board, that's why we have a factory and we can ship it to you as quickly as we can. But in general, most of the slightly warped boards, when you actually get it in place, that you can make them work in 9 times out of 10. But in general, we try to make sure everything coming off the factory is pretty straight, and we have extras of the important ones. Electrical, I'm not going to get into that because I'm not an electrician, but lots of clients will run power to their bunkies, hire an electrician, or yeah. Are you looking for sales reps in Michigan? Sure, Jeff, write me an email. Sell me. Can I order screens for an older model? Yes, there's a video on our website about how to do screens. It's quite simple. Carrie, if you email me, I can send you that video, but it's on our YouTube and website as well. This video keeps going in and out. Is there anything else I can see? I hope that's not happening for everybody, but there'll be a replay as well posted of this video. Pellet burners are nice too. Yes, I've heard good things about pellet stoves. How do you get around OSHA requirements building your own home? Is it something to worry about? I don't know about OSHA requirements, but this is not a home. We're selling basically a bunkie, so it's not a home. So that's probably, I'm pretty sure you can build your own shed, right? I'm not sure what OSHA requirements are for build. I'm assuming Michiganders can build your own home, right? I don't know if you guys want to weigh in on this, but in Canada, I built my own home. I'm not a contractor or anything. I just built it. I hope that's true in Michigan still. How susceptible is our bunkie to heavy winds? Yeah, so we had some hurricanes in for our Nova Scotian clients, and knock on wood, I don't think anybody's bunkie blew over or had anything crazy. Someone got hit with a tornado 2 years ago, and their loft was ripped off and was like, so the bunkie was here and the loft ripped off and was like laying on its side right here. They managed to pick it up and put it back on with an excavator, and it's still is standing to this day. So we have screws to screw all the corners down. We have hurricane straps and things like that. If you're in Nova Scotia, I'm going to highly recommend you use those hurricane straps. Hope that's helpful. What kind of temperatures can you maintain in the cold months with the wood stove? Okay, great question. So I visited Dan, who lives in his bunkie full time, which I don't recommend, but some people do that. So anyways, Dan, it was like minus 30, minus 40 that it was a very cold day. Like, your snot freezes in your nose, kind of cold. And it was very comfy. I was taking my coat off in his bunkie with his little cubic mini wood stove Grizzly cranking. But he did say, like, as soon as the wood stove went out at night, if he woke up in the morning, it was pretty cold. So the bunkie was very comfortable with the wood stove cranking, but he was able to maintain very comfortable temperatures inside while it was going. Do you install them? No, we do not install bunkies, although every once in a while, if you're very nice, we can give you a courtesy list only of potential installers that have worked for other clients, as long as you don't put any liability on Bunkie Life, as long as you understand that we're just giving you a list of people to call, then we can give you a list of people who've done other people's bunkies. But it's very easy to find people to build these because anyone can build them. Is there glue that goes in the middle of the wood pieces? No, not recommended. We like the bunkies to breathe a little. How waterproof is the building? Quite waterproof, especially if you caulk the corners and use a good seal. Did you miss the code word? No, I have not said the code word yet. How hard would it be to make it into a tiny house? Hard. It's not an easy thing. We sell a very great bunkie, but we do not sell tiny homes. These are great questions, guys. I really appreciate that. Do you have to caulk all the joints or around the windows and doors? The windows and doors do not get drafty, but it's a good idea to caulk if you're in an open area where you're going to get driving rains, you can caulk up around the windows like you would any window. Not a terrible idea, but in general, just the corners is what you need to caulk. You don't need to caulk the actual boards. Yeah. Hope this is helpful. Are you guys feeling this is educational? Okay. I hope so. I'm scrolling as fast as I can. Soraya Jackson, we've been waiting for an email. Should we call you again? Yes. If I missed you, I'm so sorry, Soraya. I don't know what that email might be about, but give us a call or just email me directly. All right. Should you let the bunkie sit for a while before saying it's not a terrible idea, Jason? I usually let mine sit for a few months at least. If you don't go concrete, what would be the next best option? Probably sonotubes or, like I said in the presentation earlier, deck blocks. Are you going to offer something larger than a 10 by 10? Yeah, we have a 16 by 10 now, which is the one we're giving away. The Hideaway is also larger. So we're giving away the Rockwood, which is 16 by 10, and the Hideaway, which is also 16 by 10. How long until the bunkie is ready to be shipped after ordering it? So right now we can bang on a bunkie in about 2 weeks, give or take. Our factory is kind of just popping them out as the orders come in. So that's we've officially caught up. We would like to use a bathhouse. Can we customize? Depends what you mean. Email me about that. Is there enough room to have a pull-out daybed? Yes, absolutely. All of our bunkies have enough room to do that. So after 25 years, do you just tear down and purchase a new one? Well, I mean, the only reason I say 25 years is because there's no bunkies in Canada that have been around for more than 25 years. So, like in terms of the stuff that we make. So, like I said, there's 100-year-old log cabins that have been really well maintained, and you know, things that are going to be the hardware on the door, the hardware on the windows. That's all replaceable. We can just get you a new set. But the wood itself, it just has to be protected well. And if wood doesn't rot, it just keeps, there's barns that are hundreds of years old too. So I just say 25 years because it's a good idea of like a long time. But, I don't think you should need to tear it down unless one of the above problems happens. Moisture rot, tree hits it, tornado hits it, or just something catastrophic, like carpenter ants or something like that, eat it. Is the wood kiln dried? Yes. Everything is kiln dried to under 15, ideally 12% moisture content. How much land is necessary to put a bunkie on? You need if you're talking about a 10 by 10 bunkie, you should probably think about, 12 by 12 space, because you got to count the roof overhang a little bit. If you're talking about our larger loft bunkies, factor in the fact that the loft sticks out in front a bit. So whatever the dimensions of the bunkie are, probably add 3-4 feet on either side. Shannon's awesome at answering questions. Yeah, if you email in, Shannon will help you out. What's the most creative bunkie name you've seen? That's a good question. I have to think about it, Hal. Appreciate that question. All right, there's some great questions here. Oh, Airbnb with no running water. Yes, I have an Airbnb. I've had probably thousands of guests now come. No running water, but I do have a bathroom with a composting toilet. So what you really need if you're going to run an Airbnb is Wi-Fi. That's all anybody cares about. Just give me the Wi-Fi. I just want to unplug into nature, David. I just want to connect with myself and get away. What's the Wi-Fi password? Are the walls tongue and groove? Yes, they are tongue and groove. I thought that was clear in the video, but I could have maybe emphasized that a bit more. All right. Okay. These are great questions. What are the dimensions of square meters? All our stuff is in feet and meters on our website for each product. Okay. Should you caulk both the outside and inside? No, probably just the outside. What's my favorite bunkie? The 2019 bunkie with loft, because it's the first one we ever got, and my kids love that one. It's like a kid-size sleeping loft. They love it, and yeah, a lot of good memories in that one. All right, I hope this is helpful, guys. I hope you're getting value from this. Does the door have a lock? Yes, lock and key included in all kits. Have the rules changed? It used to be 100 square foot. No, they haven't really changed. So I'm talking about Ontario only here. 10 square meters or less, 106 square feet, was not considered a building, so you didn't need a permit. They added an additional rule where you can build up to 15 square meters or 160 point something square feet, as long as it meets the following criteria. 1, you have a house or a cottage on the property already that it's not attached to. So you're not attaching it to your house or cottage. So it's a separate structure. 2, it's a single story structure. And 3, it's for storage purposes only. What you store is up to you, but that's the ruling, and that's what the Rockwood falls under. That's why it's a single story with a cool roof, but it's a single story. Can the pitch of the roof be changed? No. Too complicated. So that's the idea. What you store is up to you. If you're pouring a concrete slab, how thick should be 6 inches at least, I would suggest. What is the latest in the fall season? I've built into November, December. It's totally fine. Kimmy, what I would recommend, let's say you want to build this fall, and you're buying a Bunkie kit from us or whoever you're buying it from. Get the foundation plans first. We have all our foundation plans ready to go. We can email to you like tomorrow. Get the foundation done, ready to go. So when your Bunkie shows up, you're not digging in the muck / digging through the snow / trying to break frozen ground. It's very buildable in the winter as long as the foundation is done and ready. That's my highly, highly recommended suggestion. We got some people that need to be banned. Adult dating is not the right form here. Can you store your pull-out couch? Yes, absolutely. Can you just store your pull-out couch, table, desk, and chair in it? I will allow it, Lisa, but make sure you confirm that with your local mafia. 3-season fish bunkie. How many bunk beds? Northern Ontario. Depends on the kit. So we got, 8 different products now. So just double check. Do we ship to BC all the time, Tanis? All the time. Okay. Oh, what's the square footage of the bunkie in the contest? 160 square feet. The Rockwood is 160 square feet. All right. Someone said they have 2 in Nova Scotia and they withstood Hurricane Fiona. That is true. I think I met them at the party. I'm thinking of the right people. Will you play a live show while you're assembling a bunkie? For the right amount of money, Tammy, I'll do just about anything. Just kidding. I do have my standards. My neighbors 2 doors down like to snoopervise, so I don't have to worry about asking them to come over and watch it being installed if I win. Hilarious. Snoopervise. I love it. Okay. Colette's reinforcing, add the hurricane straps. Okay, yes, I support that assertion. All right. What do you recommend for people who can't afford it, and do you do payment plans? We do have a financing option. If you can't afford a bunkie, though, guys, just keep saving. We'll be around next year. It's not the end of the world. I don't love the idea of everybody financing the bunkie because it definitely, we don't want you to just be able to afford the bunkie. You want to be able to afford the bunkie, get a good roof, make sure that you have enough money left to furnish it or store your furniture in there, whatever you got to do. The people that can just barely afford the bunkie, I don't want to set you up for a situation where you're too tight. Okay. The bunkie is an extra space for meaningfully connecting with your family. That's ultimately what most of our clients use it for. So if you can't quite afford it, use that money for something else to connect with your family. Okay. That's my recommendation. I don't want people that just can't quite afford it. Unless, you can save up over 3 years. Some people do that. It's totally fine. We'll be around next year. Do you offer building for clients? Right now, we don't do any builds, but we can help you find a contractor. All right. What is the code? We're going to get to it, Ron Lutzma. We're going to get to it. It's been almost an hour, so we probably should get into that. See, this one is, the questions are all so good. I want to make sure I'm getting to the right questions. Yeah. Is there a reason there seems to be a standard 2-level loft design? Are other layouts possible? I'm not informed about how this fits into the one. So in most areas, it seems like they count the footprint, like the ground part that touches the ground. And the designs we've kind of come up with have been just the reiterations over 5 or 6 years of customer feedback. So we kind of know what people are asking for, and we build around that. Kind of why that came at. When is the dinner announcement? Whenever your husband yells dinner. Okay. Any other cool designs for the future? Yes, we always come up with new stuff. We came up with 2 new products this year. The Chalet, which has been a big hit. Oh, sorry, 3. So the Chalet, and then the Rockwood, which we're giving away right now, and the Hideaway. So 3 new designs that way. Mr. Grand Opening, hopefully come to the open house. Yes, I'm thinking hot chocolate, and like winter stuff. Well, it won't be winter yet, but it'll be like Canadian fall, which is basically winter. These are great questions, guys. I feel like I'm not getting to the bottom of them, so doing my best. Okay, the code word tonight is Samson. That code word tonight, I'm going to write it out for the people that can't listen. Samson, as in the guy that had powerful hair from the Bible. Samson is the code word. Forgive me if you answer, do you make custom bunkies? Not often. We've kind of put a kibosh on custom bunkies for the next year or two while we get the factory really humming. No customs. Oh, I may have to move my bunkie about 50 square feet. Do you think I could forklift it over without disassembly? I think you could. Yeah, I would get an all-terrain forklift with really long forks. It's worth the money renting that out, and I would just forklift it and move it over, and I would have the foundation in the second spot built, ready to go, and just forklift it down. Be very careful, very slow. That's my advice. Has this been helpful? Has this been a value-adding conversation? I hope it has. I want to remind everyone, if you want to come see a Bunkies in person, we have tours here. It's just a short drive if you're in Ontario, but Michiganders come to see us too. If you want to come in person, you can go to calendly.com/bunkie-tours. But we also have a Zoom tour. So it's like a video tour, something kind of like this with myself or Bryn or Lauren. And we can take you through the walkthrough tours, answer all your questions in a really one-on-one format. It's almost as good as coming to the factory, which is in Rockwood, Ontario, outside of Toronto. So you're all invited to do that, calendly.com/bunkie tours. And the contest ends on the 30th, and then the amazing autumn sale kicks off, as I talked about earlier. That's going to end on Monday, November 7th at 10 p.m. So check out autumn sale. I don't think we have all the details posted yet, but we'll be teasing more details to come. The code word, once again, is Samson. That code word is Samson. And I got one more thing to ask. If this is not worth any points, but I would love to get your feedback. Have you enjoyed the live stream? Has it been adding value? Have you learned something tonight? If you go to bunkielife.com/livestream feedback, it's not worth any points. It's just me asking you for a favor. What'd you like? What'd you hate? Didn't like how I scratched my nose all the time? Everyone always finds that irritating. I apologize. I'm not addicted to crack. I just have bad allergies. Are the materials delivered on skids and forklift? They're delivered on one big skid with generally a forklift if we're delivering. Okay, so if you have feedback, please let me know. Do you have clients who outfit their bunkies as solar panels? Yes, we do. I'll talk about that actually on Sunday. We're going to have a presentation just about all the extra options and add-ons. So I apologize if I didn't get to all your questions. There was a tremendous amount of people on this live stream tonight, almost 700 at its peak, and there's been a lot of great questions. So Melissa says, in Michigan, we can serve as our own general contractor. In other words, you can build your own house. That's great. If you purchase in spring but do not want to build until fall, that's totally fine. I just wouldn't accept delivery until when you're ready to build. So you can put your deposit down. We'll hold it for you or make it for you when you need it, would be my recommendation. Ideally, you want to build it 30 days or less from when you get your bunkie if possible. Michiganders can build their own homes without being a licensed builder. Okay. Okay, so I apologize. There's a million questions, and I realize I'm like answering a question that happened like 20 minutes ago. So I apologize if I didn't get to your question. I'm doing my best. So, all right. Okay. Okay, these are some great questions. You know what? Normally I do these for an hour, but I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes and try to get through these great questions. Okay. All right. Any future plan to build an insulated version? I don't think so at this time. We did do a couple example ones with a different product, and it was just, it wasn't, our motto is, if we don't nail it, don't do it. So we didn't nail that. That's as an understatement of the year. So we're going to stick with what we really can be excellent at, and there's lots of great companies that do more insulated things. Does it come in sauna size? No, but we sell saunas. All right. I can't wait to win this thing and get her set up. Love the positive energy there, Heather McGregor. You're rocking it. Somebody ban this guy. Ban him. All right. Or her. It won't be, yeah. Not to sound immature, but do the instructions on how to build this look like building Legos? Yes, they kind of do, actually. There's a lot of, it's very Lego-like. We have a video of us actually physically building it step by step, and we have a manual that goes through step by step of how to build it. So, do you deliver the specific address or somewhere specific on the property? If we can get to like the backyard with our delivery process, we will try. Sometimes we deliver big crane kind of trucks, or sometimes trucks with a forklift on the back that can go into all terrain scenarios, but obviously we can't drive on a septic bed. We can't drive through tight spots. We'll do our best to get as close to your build site as possible. All right. Well, I am so much apologetic if I didn't get to all your questions, and if you waited around for my answer, it's I'm scrolling down as fast as I can, and there's more comments than I can get to. So it's with great regret that I have to sign off in a few minutes, but I don't think I'll get to the bottom. So my apologize. Is the roof watertight prior to getting the metal roof? No. So you can put an underlay. Some people have an underlay on for like 6 months. That's a good temporary solution. But yeah, the deck boards are going to all come together, and they're not going to be watertight. How easy to place a window if it breaks? Just shoot us an email. We'll get you a new window. You can pop it in, pop it out. Very easy. If you can use a screwdriver, you can replace a window. If someone wanted a Bunkie, sauna, and hot tub, could you do a package deal? Yes. Email us about specifics, but I'm happy to entertain that idea. Where's the factory? We're in Rockwood, Ontario, which is just outside of the Greater Toronto area, about an hour and a bit from Toronto, near Georgetown, Guelph, Orangeville, kind of in there. All right. I've been following for about 4 years. The end of the day when I can have my own. That's cool. Thanks for the support over the 4 years. That's great. Hey from Buchanan. Hey Vic. Very informative. Thank you. I'm glad it was useful for you, Joe. All right. Oh, someone asked about using the burn technique to preserve the wood. Is that possible or would it void the warranty? No, I wouldn't void the warranty. We use it's called Shushugibon. We use that on one of our floors. There's a video of Carrie doing it with a baby strap to her. If you check out our YouTube page, there's that. Delivery cost to get to Manitoulin. It depends on where you are. Manitoulin is a big island, Helen. Email us and we can give you a quote. All right. Are you going to sing tonight? I already did. You might have missed it. Do you do custom design bunkies? Not right now, Scott, but appreciate the question. All right. Can I please have your Bunkie hoodie? You can if you buy it. They're available on our website. Get a Bunkie Life hoodie, just like mine. And it's actually very warm. That's all I was wearing today while I was doing tours. Where are the bunkies manufactured? At our factory at Rockwood, Ontario. They're made by Canadians with North American lumber. Our American clients get American lumber, sometimes a little bit of European lumber, but mostly American lumber. And our Canadian clients get 100% Canadian lumber. And it's all made right here. The windows are assembled and manufactured right here. The doors, obviously the bunkies themselves, it's all local stuff. Are the walls strong enough to add bunk beds? Yes. If you want to do a Murphy bed thing, the walls are very strong. All right. Are bunkies built with enough support beams to attach your own shelving? Yes, absolutely. All right. I'm trying to get to the bottom. How thin are the walls? The walls are a nominal 2x6, basically, minus a tiny bit of molding. Oh, this is very kind. I would highly recommend everyone buy your Bunkie Life book. It's got beautiful photos and it's a wealth of information. Awesome, Claudette. Thanks for that plug. I will send that check in the mail soon. Just joking. Have you had any bought by campgrounds? Yes, absolutely. A lot of campgrounds. What's Mark's campground? He's the head of the OCA. I should know his name is campground. But yeah, lots of campgrounds, trailer parks, golf courses uses our products as a stay and play. A lot of business clients. So if that's you, let us know. We'd love to help. All right. So let me reiterate one more time. The autumn sale is on starting right after this contest closes till November 7th. Check it out. Hope this was a helpful, beneficial presentation for you. Do we deliver islands? In most cases, we'll deliver to your local marina, and the rest is up to you, or we can deliver to a barge that can deliver to you. But email me. People love our stuff for water access only scenarios because every piece you can lift by yourself. So it's very easy to take. Even on a little fishing boat, you can get your bunkie to your island. What is the average weight limit for the loft models? The average weight is about Oh, you mean up in the loft? The lofts are super engineered, like by these crazy anal engineers. So yeah, like 500 pounds, 1,000 pounds of actual weight up in the loft, no problem. Two heavy adults or more can fit up there, no problem, without any issues. It's all of our stuff is made to really high standard, like Ontario Building Code standards. So even though in a lot of places you don't need a permit, it's still engineered to meet Ontario Building Code standards. So something that not a lot of our competitors can say. In fact, none of our competitors will say, because most of them are just kind of slapping stuff together. Yeah. Could you do a crawl space on the bunkie? Yes. Lots of people will put them up on stilts and then have little hammocks or storage space or boat space underneath. Yeah. All right. Which Shifty McShiffala says, you can absolutely elevate the bunkies. Check out our gallery. There's a couple photos of some raised bunkies there. How long can you store the bunkie unbuilt? 30 days is our recommendation or less. And it's actually a rule that if you can build in 30 days, please do that. And that's just because if you leave a bunkie out for too long, it's still going to be fine, but sometimes people get mice living in their bunkies or ants attacking their bunkies. There's lots of things that can happen, so it's ideal to get the build done, within a reasonable time frame of getting it. And we're happy to hold it for you until you need it. There's no rush. We never shove a bunkie down your throat. You sound stuffed up. Are you okay? Our family is just getting over sickness. We've had crazy cold, and I missed it for the most part. Bunkies are delivered, yes, at the owner's expense, yes. So we try to make our deliveries as cheap as possible, but we want to, not lose money on delivery is our goal. And you're also welcome to pick up if you've got a friend with a truck and a trailer. Most people can pick up a bunkie if they have a good double axle trailer. Can I use it to disconnect from my kids when they get too rowdy? Sometimes we disconnect to ultimately connect, Jeff. I'm a father of 4, and I understand completely where you're coming from, and I wholeheartedly support your idea. We just put our bunkie up and can't wait to enjoy all the family together next year. That's awesome, Katie. Good to hear from you. Send some photos. When you win, can the bunkie be shipped in the spring? Yes, absolutely. We're mostly taking orders for the spring right now, and there's a few hardy individuals that are getting their bunkies this week and next week. But that's most people are thinking about spring now. How do you get the extra ballot? So you're going to go to the contest scoreboard on our website and enter the code word Samson. Sampson. All right, that's the one. Okay. Everyone's typing it in. If you just typed in the word Samson, that doesn't give you the points. You have to actually go to the contest scoreboard and do it. Total weight, our heaviest bunkies are around 4,000 pounds. Okay. I hope this was a valuable and instructional experience for you. If you want to give feedback, you can go to bunkielife.com/livestream feedback. There's no points associated with that, but I'd appreciate it. Let me know what I can do better. Obviously, answering all these questions, I wish I could. I'm scrolling as fast as I can, and it's like it's not even moving. So, what a great time it's been tonight. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. All, hundreds of you. And like I said, we have the contest close coming up on the 30th. But there's also a presentation on Sunday about the perfect bunkie finish. All those add-ons we can do. I'll talk more in depth about that. And then on a week from today, please tune in. The why behind Bunkie Life. If you want to know what motivates us, our family story, I'll share a little bit about that. I'm hoping to get Carrie in on this presentation if I can get her. And then on Sunday, 10 days from now, we have the winter announcement, and we start our amazing autumn sale. which is up to $1,000 off different kits. And you can check it out at bunkielife.com/autumn sale. Thank you once again for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday night at 7 p.m. same time. Have a great night.